everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Midnight Hatter Live, the weekly variety show where we talk Gundam, Gunpla, and gaming. We appreciate you joining us at this late hour. I am, of course, your host, Steven, aka Midnight Hatter. Joining me, as always, the Blue Gamer Gundam Explainer, Adam Blue. And tonight we have a very special guest with us all the way across the world, Paolo of Tea and Gunpla. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me with you tonight. And I'm very good. I'm very good. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. No, thank
Yeah.
you. The pleasure is all ours. We appreciate you joining us today, or tomorrow in your case. You're joining us from
Yeah.
the future.
Oh, yeah. Time travel is such a cool thing.
Yeah. Anything that we can look forward to tomorrow?
Well, I think high humidity. Make sure you keep dry yourself. And I cannot say anything more. Otherwise, we
Oh,
can have some paradox again.
Paradox. Sure.
That's the last
oh,
thing you want.
yeah. No, absolutely not. Um, and it's awesome because today it's a very serendipitous day because obviously there's a lot of anniversaries going on right now, especially in the Gundam world. Just the other day we had April 7th was the original airing of Mobile Suit Gundam. Yesterday was the airing of Gundam G-Quux. Uh, April 9th is actually the anniversary of Turn A Gundam, which is why I'm
Oh,
sporting my Turn A Gundam t-shirt. And on top of all of these anniversaries, Adam, you released a 30th anniversary Gundam Wing Explained video, which I never thought we would get that out of you because you are the wing hater among us.
I know. I think it's those that Gundam Universe Epion and whatever coming out that just looks sick, and then I was like, I've seen all these pictures, and I'm like, "Oh, man, yeah, let me just dive into this one more time." And yeah, it's
I'm glad that
it's
you gave it another chance.
yeah, it's good stuff.
And Paolo, you actually just dropped a video earlier today about the Sky Defender that you pre-ordered last year. So
Oh, yeah. Took
12
me
months
12
ago,
months
finally
to get
arrived.
one. But finally I got it. And I didn't give any money to scalpers, which is something I'm really proud of.
Yeah, that you know what? The fact that you can build Gunpla and sleep at night and look yourself in the mirror is a very important is a very important thing. So, guys, if you haven't checked out either of these videos, definitely check the links down in the description. Go check out T and Gunpla, which is Paolo's channel, and Gundam Explained, Adam's channel, and go watch these videos, in about an hour, because
Yeah,
obviously we're
wait.
going to be talking about those things now. Um, but but yeah, before we get into everything, I want to say thank you guys so much. Just this week, we here at Midnight Hatter crossed the 5,000 subscriber mark. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everything that you guys do. You're the reason that we're here. You're the reason that we're talking. And so last week, when we were about 4,998 subscribers, I said, hey, if you comment your favorite mobile armor in the chat, you'll be entered to win a 5,000 subscriber giveaway. And so we got 4 entries. I want to share those with you guys and we can talk through them. It'll be a fun little exercise for us to start out with before we get into the topic in chief, which will be obviously Tea and Gunpla and the content therein. But let me share this with you guys because we got, like I said, 4 entries. One from Dair XV that said my personal favorite mobile armor, and I double checked because a couple of machines that came to mind were labeled as mobile suits would be the RX 124 TR6 from Advance of Zeta. So you guys know me. I'm not a huge Advance of Zeta guy, but it is AOZ April, I've been told. Um, e Adam, you're a big AOZ guy, right?
Yeah,
What is this? So it's the Gundam Inlay, the INLE.
yeah. Oh, I
That's
think
the one with, like, the queen
yeah,
queenly type
yeah,
thing?
that thing is insane, like, I think there's even a I don't know if it's a prototype or custom or something like that made, high grade, and it's actually, like, gigantic, and I
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, you can use it in SDG Generation Genesis, and it takes up, like,
yeah,
the amount of the screen. That's a
huge.
actually.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Also from WD30th, we had if I had only one favorite, it would be the Dagorla from Victory Gundam. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. But since it had the ability to still function in space and in Earth oceans, uh, whenever it lost a component, it would reconnect itself together with and still function in battle. That's a good pick too. I always appreciate the Victory Gundam love.
What was it called again?
Yeah, the Dagorla,
Oh.
Doggorla.
Yeah,
It's
looking it up. That's a cool looking one. That's a cool
as a yeah. Some of these I had to look up, obviously. From Ultronymous, shout out to Ultronymous, appreciate you. I technically have two answers for favorite mobile armor, which entirely depends on the definition of mobile armor. Normally, the Legao from Seed is just one of my favorite mobile suits in general, partly because it reminds me of Zoids, and because it's a quadruped.
Okay.
And then of course my screenshot cut off the read more. Dang it! Well, I think if I remember correctly, Ultronymous, it was the Dendrobium, if I'm remembering correctly, because that would be one that's a um not a conditional. um
Wait, it's not considered fully 100% a, let me see, I'm gonna try to pull it up.
yeah, let me make sure. Oh no, it was the Valwalo. Yeah, I remember that because I was like, wait a second, Valvaro. No, it was Valwalo. Um the Red Death Lobster in chat is what he's saying.
Uh,
Um it's the one from
oh,
0083 that Kelly pilots.
okay, that's a cool
I
one
knew it
too.
was from 0083 though, so you gotta give me credit there.
That's a good
Um,
one.
and finally, the winner of the random drawing, spoiler alert, I just gave it away. Alan Mitchell, I probably have to go with the Destroy Gundam from Gundam Seed Destiny. It took the idea of the Psycho Gundam, which I personally don't love the original design that much, but wasn't full of over the top mode. Plus, it had an awesome transformation for it. The only downside is that it suffered being cannon fodder for the main character Gundams, which I have to agree with. Like, especially in Gundam Seed Freedom, the
Yeah,
Destroy Gundam was treated as like a
it's like a stormtrooper.
it's like a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like shooting off into nothing and never did any damage. Um, but yeah, so when I did the random drawing, Alan Mitchell, you are the winner of the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all four of you guys who entered and submitted your favorite mobile armor. I'm gonna have a care package sent out to you by this Friday, including a master grade Gundam, maybe some other things, maybe including like a little Gundam stress ball if I can get
Oh,
the formulation of this thing right. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate what you guys do for the channel.
yeah,
And
totally.
so yeah, thank you guys so much for allowing me that little housekeeping um portion of the show before we hop into the real interesting part of it, which is you, Paolo. Um so tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how you got into Gundam and how you got into Gunpla, um just to start with.
Yeah, no, the story is not so interesting. I'm actually a Gunpla late bloomer, let's say. I always been into hobbies and stuff. I started when I was 16 with Warhammer 40k. Actually, that's the first time I started hand painting. Back when dinosaurs still roamed the earth, basically. And then I always been like into hobby that I have to use my hands, which is like really an anti-stress for me, like doing something manual. Fast forward, actually, during COVID times, I was like locked inside with kind of not a lot to do. And my wife gifted me not Gunpla. She gifted me actually some Bandai kits from Star Wars. So
Oh.
an X-Wing and a Millennium Falcon. And that's the first time I actually had in my hand some Bandai kits. I already did some kits in the past, like here and there, but they were all like from other brands, and they were all like you need to glue, you need to do stuff, and I wasn't kind of ready for that kind of commitment. But all the snap building really interested me. I was like, okay, that is cool. That is really cool. Um, Then I found a hobby store close to my place, and I went to go check it out, and I got not a Gunpla. I got a Nasegawa kit from Macros,
Okay.
VF01 Gearwalk mode, 'cause I'm a long time Macros fan, so
That's
I
cool.
had to get it. And that's where I really had to check the difference between a Bandai kit and a not Bandai kit. I was like, okay, yeah, this is a step up in difficulty. I mean, this needs to be all glued, it needs to be all painted. It's not what I was expecting. And then I found out that I had a Gundam base close to my place,
Oh,
relatively close. So I went there, I see all the Gundams, was checking them out. I was like, you know what? I should check it out. And I got myself um, a real grade God Gundam,
oh, cool.
which I didn't build.
Oh.
Because after getting the God Gundam, I went online. And everybody was like, don't start with a real grade. That's the worst mistake. You're gonna do it wrong.
Adam did the same thing.
I started
Okay.
with the real grade, full armor unicorn, one of my favorite kits. It's crazy.
So yeah, so I got myself a couple of high grades, and from there I started building. I was like, I hate these nub marks. I hate the nub marks. Oh my god, it's so terrible. So I went online. Okay, let's check, and from there I start sending, start practicing everything, and then I was like, I would like to do some detailing. So I did some detailing. That was like, maybe I should paint. Then I start painting. And fast forward a few years now, I like modifying, I like scribing, I like painting my kits. Take me forever to do one single kit, but at the end, I'm pretty proud with the result. So that's pretty much the story. Really summed it up.
No, that's great. And so what was your first impression because you started with a Bandai Star Wars kit, which we're big Star Wars fans here.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. And then you went to a non-Bandai Macross kit and then to a Bandai real grade. So that's like a very, you know, you're talking about in terms of detail and in terms of quality and the amount of work that you have to put into in order to make it look good. You're going from like, super high to then like super low. And, that's a very, to a lot of people, that would be a very jarring experience and would be very discouraging. Because then, especially with that Macross kit that required a lot of work to make
Yeah.
look good. Um, would you say that you felt discouraged at any point, or was it kind of something that you just pushed through and said, "I wanna make the best out of this?"
I would say neither. I was curious. I was mostly curious
Mm,
because the first experience with the Bandai kits, the Star Wars one, was really nice. I really did enjoy the whole process, even if the result wasn't as good as I would have liked to. I mean, I was working with literally a $10 only one kit with like basic nippers and everything. So I mean, the result is what it is. But I was really curious. What I really like about Gunpla is that they're really friendly kids.
Mm,
Like when people says Gunpla is freedom, it is true because
yeah.
you can have 7 years, you can be 7 years old, you can still put together a high grade with no problem at all.
very true.
And if you're happy with what you get out of the box, that is okay. Like nobody's gonna judge you. Nobody's gonna come in your house and tell you you did it wrong. I mean, gunplay is something you do for yourself. So if you're happy
Right.
with it, it's good, and it's really like open to everyone. They have the color separation already in, so you don't feel like you need to paint a kit. It's not that you get a completely white or gray giant robot. You already have something that is look cool. It looks cool. So it's really up to you having the freedom to say what do I want to do with this kit? Do I want to just build 10 of them a month, straight build and just put them on a shelf? That is fine. You're gonna still have something nice. I want to get one kit a year, but spend 800 hours completely changing it, you can. So
Right.
yeah, I don't think anyone should be discouraged from trying a Gunpla because it's the friendliest kit you can get basically, and he has so many possibilities inside it.
It's very true. I mean, what was funny is, I recently had a Patreon subscriber, Artie Andy, who's in the chat here. She posted a link to an article that was written by someone that said, how can investing hundreds of dollars in an airbrush save me money on Gunpla? And it's like, well, because then instead of having this backlog of Gunpla that you have to build, and you're gonna snap through all these model kits really quickly, you spend time painting and customizing. And so every single, 10 to $25 high grade kit actually takes you months to finish. And so you're not constantly just buying the latest kit, which that's one of those things that I took to heart. It was very eye opening for me, is that when you pour yourself into each individual kit instead of just rushing through them and building them out, um, you can appreciate them more, right?
Oh yeah.
Totally, I totally agree. That is a great truth. I mean, you're literally saving money. I still have a decent backlog, but not so big as other people, honestly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I take my time, get my kit, and then I can move to the next one. Sometimes I work on more kits together, so I can like break the job. Also,
Oh,
because of the
definitely.
channel, I need to do a bit of things together. Otherwise, there's not going to be no content.
No, and honestly, I always encourage people to have multiple projects that they're working on at any given time, because, if you ever hit a roadblock, or maybe there's something that is time sensitive that you have to, like, let something cure or let paint dry, you can always pivot and work on something different while that is taking care of itself, and you're not getting bogged down on one single thing. So but it's a fine balance, right? You don't wanna have too many projects that you're
Yeah.
overwhelmed, but you always wanna have something that you can switch to in the event that you can't work on the thing that you really want to work on, right?
Three max, the magic number. No more than three.
Mm.
More
Okay,
than three at
so
a time, your mind is gonna blow up.
well,
Or
then you heard it here, Adam. That's
no, that's good. I think a good rule to have. It's funny because sometimes what happens is, yeah, if it's more than 3, like, you'll just end up forgetting one. You'll just forget you were working on something, and you're like, "Oh, crap, I totally forgot. I'm almost done," and yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah, I have an high grade Gundam Freedom that is there from 5 months, something like that. Because I built it, I need to decide what to do with it, and I'll do it. I'll take care of it. I have other stuff that are more urgent, and they just sit in there. I'm gonna do the color correction with markers. I'm gonna paint it. Should I
Mhm.
scribe it? And I postpone it.
yeah.
Eventually, will become a real kit. Eventually.
See, and I think that that's perfect advice for people, because honestly, one of the things that I always bring up is the fact that people who got into Gunpla, during COVID, we've had a lot of Gunpla builders on the show that kind of tell us where they got started in Gundam. A lot of people got started in the 90s when they were watching Gundam Wing. Some people got started during COVID. And what was fascinating to me is a lot of these builders got started during COVID, and they have 20 fully painted, fully customized model kits, and I'm sitting here on an Endless Waltz, no grade, Ultron Gundam that I haven't touched in 13 years, because I always rush on to the next thing. And so it's funny to me that, I always love meeting people who have amassed more skills in a shorter period of time than I have in decades of the hobby. And that's what's so fascinating to me, is it's like Gunpla, like you said, and like the saying goes, is Gunpla is freedom, and it allows people to progress at a pace that is comfortable for them. And uh And like you said, it really just allows people to do whatever they are willing to put into the kit at the moment, right?
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely.
So talk to me a little bit about your content creation journey and what kind of inspired you to start sharing your Gunpla journey with the world?
Well, I'm always been a big YouTube fan. Like for me, YouTube is my television. Like I
Mhm.
don't watch TV, especially after I became a dad. My TV time is really limited, and when the TV is on, is for Peppa Pig or some equivalent.
Miss
So yeah,
Rachel,
but
Blue's
it's been more
Clues.
than 10 years, 15 years that I've been like a YouTube user, and I always caressed the idea of making my own channel, learning about post production, editing, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, when it was like a bit more than 1 year ago, the star kind of aligned. I found myself with some extra free time. I was like, you know what, that could be the right time. Also, I still remember when I was looking for advices about my Gunpla journey when I started, and I'll be honest, I wasn't super happy with the tutorials I was finding online. I found sometimes the quality was just not there, but the information were. Sometimes they were high quality, but didn't teach me exactly how to do what I want. They weren't covering as I would have do it. So I was like, you know what? I don't know.
It
I'll
sounds
I'll
like you
just
found one
try.
of
Why
my
not?
videos.
No, I got a lot. I went also on Asian internet to check
Yes.
them out because in Asia is way more big than in the West, so you
Oh,
can find
absolutely.
a lot more content. And there actually found some tutorials that were more on in style with what I'm doing now, which I could say took my inspiration for like the style from there a bit. Uh, so yeah, I was like, "Hey, you know what? I'll try." I mean, started like I wouldn't say as a joke because that would not be correct. But yeah, as an hobby, I wasn't expecting the channel to actually work. I was totally ready for like just nobody watching my content, and I was like, I'll I'll just decide my target, and my target is myself. So I just want to make videos that I would watch, and yeah, I started from there. I started free with the basics and bit of reviews, a bit of advices, some easy tutorials on the basic stuff. So I started from like knob marks that I can see it on the screen. It's been
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the first video, yes, 1 year ago. And when I was there, I was more working on, honestly, more on the content itself, on the quality of the content. So every video was like trying to do something better. Okay, the lighting is just terrible. Okay, let's check out how to make the light better. Oh my god, the audio is, oh my god. Okay, I need a microphone. Need to set the microphone. I need to like, and then I started learning everything. I started learning the cuts, working with DaVinci Resolve, which is the software I use, working on the pacing of the videos, working, yeah. And I found it really, really nice. I had so much fun with it. And when the actual channel start working, I start getting people looking at my content and liking it, has been a great surprise. A really welcome surprise. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to share a bit what I was doing, see if there was somebody interested, but mainly I was doing it for myself. So I'm really happy that this effort actually has been recognized by some people, and some people got something out of it. They actually learned something. This is
Oh, yeah.
a great reward for me.
No, absolutely. I mean, I know I did, for sure. I think the first video of yours that I stumbled upon was a hand painting video, and as a fellow hand painter, I just appreciated, especially the way that you were painting, and you kind of, especially on that first coat, and you said, "Don't worry, the first coat is going to look terrible. That's the point." Like, because so many people, they see the finished product. They see a lot of, like, Asian YouTubers and people on Twitter that are posting these fantastic kits, and, you're kind of wondering, "How did you get this result?" And I don't think that there's enough people like you that are showing that, when you're, especially when you're hand painting, when you're airbrushing, you can kind of get that slow satisfaction of the finished product. But when you're hand painting, you have to accept that that first coat is going to look like absolute trash. And then it's when you cross paint that it starts to come together. And
Yeah.
maybe it's the third coat that it finally starts to look good.
Depend on the
And
color. Could be even fifth or sixth.
exactly. So, and I love, you have a very cozy style of video that, um, it's just easy to digest, easy to watch, and is relaxing and kind of evokes all of the feelings of what a Gunpla video is supposed to be. So,
And what do you
Yeah.
do to edit the videos?
Sorry?
What software do you use to edit the videos?
DaVinci Resolve. It has a
Oh,
great
cool.
plus that is being completely free.
Yeah.
And
No,
the
yes,
that's cool.
free
I'm always
stuff is the best
curious.
stuff.
I'm always curious what
that's
people
right.
use because DaVinci is now at the point where it's nearly as good as Premiere. Like, you could get what you need out of it,
Yeah.
and, yeah, I'm always curious about that. That's really cool.
There is a soft paywall behind it if you want the advanced features, but the
Yeah,
advanced features are really advanced. It's not like something you will need to use. I can do everything in my videos with just the free basic version. Is It's amazing. Takes a bit to get
that's
into it.
good.
Is not so user friendly probably, but it's so full of tutorials on YouTube that you can do a crash course in a week and start doing your video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly, and then especially on sites like Mixkit, there are so many templates available, both for Premiere, but also for DaVinci where, if there's something like a transition that you're looking to capture, or there's like a particular look that you want to evoke, you can probably find a free template out there that will do the trick. So,
no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I do some AI generation stuff in Premiere Pro, it's like, "Oh,
mhm.
I got Premiere," and then but I'm seeing that these companies that make these AI plugins are also making it for DaVinci because it's that big now, in the video editing scene. So it's really cool that those options are there because 'cause I'm so big
But
into that stuff, the editing.
it deserves to be so big, honestly, because
Yeah.
being free is like amazing. The things you can do there,
Yeah.
like I do all my
Yeah,
transitions, everything,
Mhm.
everything. Yeah, you don't have the AI stuff, but
But the
I don't use
plugins,
AI. So
like, third party, you know what I mean? Like, because
yeah.
they know DaVinci is so popular that those third parties are even making them for that, so, that's always
Yeah,
a good sign.
that's, I feel ashamed of myself for using Adobe products, especially when I'm a big Blender fan. Like, as far as 3D modeling goes, I use Blender, which is obviously an open source tool, and they even have AI plugins for texturing and things like that work really well. And anything that's open source tends to have better
Yeah.
community support, right?
Yeah, and you know what I think too, it's good to learn all these different programs. That's something that I feel like I've learned through mine, and I'm curious about yours too, my journey, with creating content is like learning new software. Like I had always done video editing, but not like streaming and then capturing what I'm streaming to then edit, like those and it's there's so much stuff to learn. And what are some takeaways through the process of creating a video maybe that you've learned and it's something new that you think about?
sorry, can you repeat? You broke up a moment.
Oh, sorry. Is my mic coming in good? Is it?
No, no, no. I think it was just a moment,
Oh,
or like connection just went.
okay, cool.
Sorry, can you just repeat
Well,
the question?
yeah, no, so, like, with the content creation, because to me, that's
Yeah,
it's an interesting thing. As much as we like Gundam and the Gunpla, or the content creations is like its own hobby. And I'm
yeah.
curious, like, with you, what have you learned, or is there something new, um, through the content creation process that's, like, new to you? Like, for me, it was, learning how to figure out how to shoot everything and then get it into the editor to edit. Like, what's that workflow, and how do you do it?
For me, it's been a lot of trials and error. Like
Oh,
the hardest thing is the filming. Oh my god, the filming has been dramatic. I tried different ways from like camera on a stand, trying to find the right angle
yeah.
is a pain. Trying at the beginning, I was working with a telescopic tube. You call it a telescopic tube?
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
attached to my bench, so I could put the camera on top. Then I
Yeah.
realized that every time I touched the bench, everything was
It was
shaking,
shake.
and my
Yep.
videos was like, basically you could puke, just watching one of the videos. Uh, so I was like, "Okay, what I can do?" So I grabbed one of, my wife's, selfie stick, the one that you can elong, and I was
Right.
working with the selfie stick between my legs in front of my in front of my face there was the camera, and I worked with that for actually a few months till I finally invested in a tripod big enough to put it beside me and having the camera getting on top
Oh,
of
so it has,
it.
like, another arm that sticks.
Yes,
Oh, oh,
yes,
that's
yes,
cool.
yes. So now that's the thing I'm working with. Then I was working, okay, what should I use? So the first video, I think I used my webcam, which
Okay.
that's one of the reasons why it's so bad. Then I start working with my phone, and basically almost all the videos are filmed on just an iPhone 12.
Nice.
Like, then I was like, maybe I can do better. So I took a camera that was laying around here, a Sony camera. Don't ask me the model; I do not remember. And it was so bad. I have like 2 or 3 videos that, oh my god, they're so bad. Like, I can see here on the screen the first Gunpla video, the Susanovo Guren was filmed with that, and oh my god, it's so bad. It's like I'm so ashamed of it. I'm so sorry. It was like a video I was pretty excited to do, but the quality is just not there in the video. So I went back to my phone, which I'm sorry, but like this little phone can do better than a proper camera at the moment. So yeah,
Yeah, those phones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, modern phones are so much they're just so much more user friendly because, I mean, I have a DSLR that, I it's like it shoots in 4K and it has all these, bells and whistles, but if you don't know how to use it properly, it's not as good as just using your phone.
but it's not just that. It's like for making hobby videos, you need to have the camera close to what you're filming because you want the details. If
Yeah.
you're too far
Right.
away, people will not see what you're actually doing. You need to have the detailing, and it's so hard to get a camera that keeps the focus properly. You
Right.
just put a finger in the middle, and the focus will go completely out of control. And then you're like checking your footage. You're like, God, this looks terrible. And they already finished the part. The part is done. Like I
Right, you
cannot
can't
redo
go
this.
back
I
and
need to buy
refilm
another
it.
kit. Like
Yes.
what am I supposed to do? Then you try to scramble with software and okay, I can put this part. I can make a cut here. So yeah, filming is the big beast of doing the videos for me.
But
Everything else just comes
but
together.
just
Making the script, making the thumbnail, doing the
oh,
transition. That
all of that
like
is natural. But so have you not done anything related to filming video in the past?
nah,
Oh,
no, no,
cool.
no.
So you know what? It's
That's
crazy
good.
because it's it's so much. So it's really cool to hear what you're talking about because you mentioned everything like the lighting, the angles, the shaking of the desk. That's the thing I went through too, where like I'm like, what do I so like I have it where I have to mount some of my arms on the windowsill behind my desk so it's not on the desk.
Yep.
That stuff's fun. I mean, and I think that's a fun thing too for anyone that wants to get into content creation. Like you might do it and it might not. It's almost like you were just talking about with the Gunpla, like the perfection. Like it's not gonna be perfect. You just got to kind of do it, and then as
Yeah,
you go, you'll just make those little incremental adjustments.
you find
Exactly.
out, okay, what is the real issue at the moment? Okay, I solved this. Then
Yeah,
you go, okay, now what is really terrible? What is like making my video look so bad? Okay, then I'll fix that, and so on and so on. For me, what really helped was a couple of friends that were watching my videos and being really honest with me. like telling me, okay, from a viewer point,
Yeah.
this does not work. This is terrible. You need to work on this. I could barely understand what you were saying because the audio wasn't there. The lighting
Those
needs
are
to
good
be improved.
friends.
Yeah,
Those are good
and
friends
they can be
because
honest. It's not just,
it's so
"Oh, it's
easy
great."
to right, yeah, I am always skeptical of when someone says everything's perfect, everything looks good because, that means that they've given up on you. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, "Oh, it's cute that you have this little thing that you're doing,
I
but
get
I
it,
know you're
Steven, I
never
get
gonna."
it. No, I'm joking.
No, yeah, one of our favorite Gunpla guests, is a Nickel Models, and both he and Coop from the Undergated podcast both have this saying, "Iron sharpens iron." And especially when it comes to Gunpla, uh, having people around you that are honest with you, that are going to tell you, "You know what? You probably could have done better removing that seam line," or, "You know what? This paint job isn't quite clean, you left some brush strokes in it." Having people that are going to be honest with you is so underrated and so valuable to anything that you do, whether it's Gunpla, whether it's content creation. Having people that you trust that are going to be honest with you and tell you where you can improve is a good thing. So I'm very happy that you have friends that
No, 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 that's totally true. Which actually makes me think about another topic about it, that for Gampla is actually hard to have that feedback, because
Mhm.
I'm thinking about another hobby that I'm familiar with, which is Warhammer 40k, for example. Warhammer 40k is really easy to get feedback because you need to meet other people to play. You have
Yes.
places like the Games Workshop store where you can go and like they give you the table and everything. So you're there, you take out your models, put them on the table, and people are like checking them out and telling you what you did wrong. Or you see other people modeling, you're like, how you did that? How you did this? How did it
Right.
work? Ah, glazing. Ah, nice glazing. You need to try. Uh, Gambler for many people, I feel like is like a pretty lonely hobby. You do it for yourself or by yourself, but
Mm.
it's not so easy to find people to share the hobby with. And that's where I think having tutorials online really comes in use, because it's where you can get the inspiration, where you can understand, okay, what I'm doing wrong, which sometimes is better than knowing how I should do. It's like knowing where are my mistakes. That's
Yeah.
why, for example, in the last video, I made a video just about how to thin your paint, because I feel like many of the bad jobs I see online are because like this basic skill, thin your paint, it should be something that a lot of people give for granted, but it's not. And so
Very
yeah, show
true.
like where these are the mistakes you maybe are doing, and these are the way to fix it.
And
That's a
and I
bit
think I commented on that video in particular
yeah,
because so many people will show you, "Here's how to thin your paints, and here's how it looks good." What you did was you showed how bad it can look if you don't thin your paints, and I think that almost showing the imperfections is more instructive than showing a perfectly painted kit, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Like this is something I probably will try to do in the next videos, when I like these little things, try to show where is the mistake, like the
Yeah.
mistake you could actually do. The most common ones, of course, I cannot cover all of them, but the most common ones.
Yeah. So let's rewind a little bit because I
Yeah.
want to ask, and just out of curiosity, where did the channel name Tea and Gunpla come from, other than, of course, being a fan of brewed tea and Gunpla come from?
Well, I was when I decided that okay, I'm gonna do my channel. I was like thinking about the name, and that's probably one of the most difficult thing to come up with when you want to make a channel, at least for me.
It's
And then
branding.
I was there, and I was like thinking, okay, what is Gameplay for me? For me, Gameplay is a relaxed time for myself. Is where I
Mm.
zone out from the world. Okay, now I'm here, I'm with my kids and doing something with my hands and I feel okay with it. So it's something they cool me down. They like make me wind down. Like
Mm,
so, what I do when I'm like I want to relax? Well, I drink tea. I drink my tea, my Gundam mug,
Nice.
and so it's like you know what, tea and
perfect.
Gunpla. That is gonna be, and also it's from there that comes all the chill vibe I want to give with my videos. So nothing flashy, nothing. Oh my god, guys, you have to check this video. Oh my god, this is. Oh my god, no.
No.
I want to this to be like to transmit the chillness, the relaxing moment I'm living with. I'm painting.
No, and that's what I love about it is, you may not realize it, but honestly, the branding and uh the mood that you evoke just in the style of content that you create is relaxing.
Yeah.
It's the kind of it's like Bob Ross meets Gunpla, right? It's very it's
But
just
Bob
perfect
Ross is
and
another level. Bob Ross is another level. I cannot compare myself to him. It's like he would
well,
make amazing
until you
artworks.
start slapping your paintbrush against
I'm gonna
um
say like, this is not a mistake. This is a happy accident. Don't
that's
worry.
right.
With like the panel liner all spreading over my bench. It's okay.
Hey,
Which
what kind
happened
of
more than
tea?
once. Hmm?
What kind of tea are you drinking right now?
Right now I'm using a random one I got from the bowl because I have a bowl of like mixed teas,
Yeah.
and this one is a mixed berry one. It's a black tea
Mm,
with mixed berries. I really like black tea. It's like probably my favorite kind. I have some other ones that is just leaves that I leave inside, but this is just a regular sachet.
Oh,
mm.
okay. That's cool. I like the tea thing. I do. That is a cool idea. It does have that vibe. And I'm a fan of tea myself. Um, but do you drink your tea with caffeine or without?
With caffeine. I'm
With
a caffeine addicted.
Oh, okay.
Coffee and tea
That
is my gasoline. I cannot wake up and not have my coffee. As a good Italian,
yeah.
I put a lot of emphasis on my coffee. I've been traveling the world a lot, but everywhere I go, the first thing I do is get myself an Italian coffee machine.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm,
An
okay.
espresso machine. I cannot live without my espresso machine.
Yeah, you know what? We bought an espresso machine recently. My wife was like, "Okay, we're gonna stop going to Starbucks." We bought it. We were making espresso every morning. Then the Starbucks happened again. And then just the other week, we're like, okay, for sure, this time, like she bought all new furniture. She redid the entire kitchen and built furniture for making an espresso bar. So I'm hoping this time we actually go with it because it is fun actually to sit there and make it yourself. It's almost like I talked about this with vinyl records. When you put it on the vinyl record to listen to music, or you're making your own coffee to have it, there's just something more about it.
It's a
Oh yeah,
ritual.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
it's it
ritual.
it's like prayer, you
Yeah,
know?
you're appreciating what you're doing. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
making my
Like
offer
Gunpla.
to the gods of coffee.
Okay.
That's right. Well, speaking of which, and this is it's awesome. I love whenever we can get a fellow father on the show to talk hobbies because one of the biggest things that people struggle with I've found is when you become a father and you are engaging in your hobbies, how do you how do you manage your time? How do you manage your energy? Espresso is one way for sure. How what has being a father been like, and how has that impacted your Gunpla building?
Well, mainly it's time. You have less time. Period. A
Yeah.
lot of my work is done at night
Yep.
after I put the baby to sleep. After dinner, I mean, put myself there at work. I work from home, so I have like some free time during the week that I can do it while she's at school. But yeah, it's not easy. If I had
Right.
time, I would probably make a video a week. That would be amazing for me. But at the moment, I kind of okay with my schedule of one video every 2 weeks, even if the last month has been crazy. So I had
Mhm.
to take a pause. But yeah, I managed to make a short video about every 2 weeks, trying to get between 5 and 10 minutes video. sometimes more. But I noticed that longer videos usually are a bit tough for people to watch. So I try to
Definitely.
keep it
Oh, yeah.
like as compact as possible.
And
Good
especially
idea.
now, I feel like when people are looking for a Gunpla tutorial or they're looking for anything instructive in general, they want just that one specific thing. They don't want to see you build a kit from start to finish. They just want to see how do you do a thruster painted or how do you remove a panel line. It's a very specific thing that they're searching for, and so it in a way it kind of favors our situation. The three of us obviously being dads, not having a ton of time to commit to the hobby. And then, you know, like I said, part of what makes your style so appealing is that it's a very relaxed and cozy style. And I think part of that is because you're filming late at night, the
Yeah.
same way that I do. And so, it allows you to to really dial in on what people are interested in seeing, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, then there is also a lot of like trials and errors in like
Mhm.
I I don't want to be a just a tutorial channel because I mean there is a set amount of tutorials you can make. Like
That's true.
so I try to branch out and see other things, and as always I do things that I would like to watch and that I would
Mhm.
want to make. And sometimes they work, sometimes they do not. But it's true what you say that people are pretty focused. But still, like
Yeah.
the nice thing about having your own channel is that it's your own channel. You
Yeah.
decide what to do. Nobody's telling you what you should do. And I mean, we are not a point in which I think I talk for everyone. We can live out of our channel, so it's really
Sure.
not about the money. Like even if I make a video and few people watches it, what can happen really? Like it's not a biggie. But if I'm happy with what I made, I'm happy. Like for example, I made actually a full build video about this little guy. This is like the full painted MK2 that I made some time ago.
Yes. I loved that kit.
Yeah, but the MK2 is probably, if not my favorite mobile suit, is one of my favorite mobile suit for
That
sure.
good one.
I was
It's
gonna
one of my
say,
favorites.
Adam, that is speaking your
Yeah.
language.
Yeah, there is something about the Z Gundam kits that is just like is on point. Like you have
Oh, yeah.
so many kits that are
So
just on
good.
point. The MK2, in my opinion, better than actual Zeta Gundam. Like the Yakushiki, just behind that. Like they so good. Like simple, but the chunkiness, that 80s chunkiness is still there. It's like I do like the new kits with like a
No.
more slender figure and everything, but
Yeah, the chunky robot where yeah,
yeah,
that Mark II for me is it's because, like, when I first watched the original Gundam, which wasn't too long ago, I was like 5, 6 years now, I forget, but and then I saw Zeta, that Mark II was, like, the best way they could possibly make a sequel looking Gundam, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
uh, just yeah.
Especially the black color one, like the
Oh, yeah.
AUG color one. Oh, they're so nice that I am almost like suffered inside when they painted white because black was just looking just on point.
Yeah.
It was like that's it. And yeah, like so many. Then I do love when my kids comes with a lot of accessories, a lot of weapons. I'm more of a like for Gunpla only, of course, firearm kind of guy. So I love they have the
Mm.
giant bazooka. They have like a lot of stuff more than the beam saber. But still, the simplicity of the Zeta kits, they don't come with a lot of stuff. Still, that simplicity is so on point. There's nothing to say.
I think so, yeah, for sure. And I mean, one of the I would love for you to continue this series of the Zabi that you were customizing because
Yeah,
you had incorporated like the resin parts and like the accessories and
yeah.
everything. There
That
was
is
so
a bit
many.
of a hiatus for now because I didn't realize of how much of an effort it is to make something like that and still being able to pull out videos because that
That
is like at least a 6 months full time project.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's why I'm a bit. I want to do that. I mean, it's like
Yes.
one of those kids I want to see coming all together. I have a huge plan of it, all describing, but
And
I
even
don't
as
want
far
to.
as you got in the introduction video of that piece, which again, you guys go check out, in the description, go to Tea and Gunpla and check out the Zazabi because there's so many planning, parts that you put into just that video that there's so many individual components that need to be upgraded, that need to be
Yeah,
enhanced, that need to be customized.
there
And
is
so,
also much more that come after that video.
oh
That's
yeah,
why it's totally doable. It's not that I'm saying I cannot do that, but I need to find a way to be able to do that, make video about it, and still make other videos while I'm doing it. So
exactly.
it's really a balance. That's a bit the reason why I started another little series with a real grade crossbone that this
Mhm.
month we should have the second episode finally, where
Yes,
I'm customizing part by part. I start with the legs, next is gonna be the chest, and so on and so on.
That's
But yeah, it's like a way smaller scale project, and
no,
I
but you
kind
know
of
what?
want to use that experience to move on the Sazabi. That is the real big one because it's not just about making it, building it, painting it. Is making a video out of it that can be
Exactly,
interesting and not boring. Because that's the real thing. Like I can make like a 2 hours video of me painting, but what you're gonna get out of it. You need to make a video that actually has
right,
some value in it.
exactly. There's gotta be some value there for people to appreciate, and, I mean, I think, yeah, a perfect example would be going back to your, the brush painting of the inner frame, and let me pull up that screen share again. The brush painting the inner frame of the new Gundam, which was a
Mhm.
perfect example of taking what is it's just a part of the whole kit,
Yes.
but you're focusing in on a very particular part of the customization, and, and I think that that's kind of like how you have to go about whenever you're creating content around one particular kit that's going to take months of work. Every single limb, every single joint becomes a video about how to address a very particular need within the kit, right?
Yeah, exactly. That video, I am really fond of it because I think it really can show. It really shows what you can do even with a simple kit. That's a real grade. A real grade. It's an entry grade, so it's like
The EG,
the
yeah.
basic of the basic you can find. Nothing is moving there, which makes it actually even easier to work on. And that is something that I think any beginner could do. Like, you
Absolutely.
take entry grade, you decide, okay, I want to do this, and you just do it.
Right.
yeah, there's just
I
There's
less
mean,
no
little things you have
crazy
to
techniques.
worry about mechanically, and you can just work on it.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's why actually I think entry grades and high grades are the perfect ones to modify, to
Oh,
paint, to
definitely.
work on because there's not too much going on. The more parts you have grinding with each other, the more you risk to everything to just fall apart.
And
You see your paint is getting scratched. You see parts not fitting anymore together because there's too much
you
top coating on the joint.
right, yeah, there's just, too much friction, and then, of course, paint chipping, and, like, we've had a lot of, not only competition builders, but competition judges on the show, and what's fascinating is the number of people that enter competitions with high grades versus real grades and master grades. And part of it is because high grades almost take more work to make look good than a real grade or a master grade because all the level of parts separation makes it so that you really don't have to put a lot of effort into making them look good. But what's fascinating is, you look at scale modelers, the people that build, tanks and airplanes from World War II. they love high grades because it's like, "Oh, you remove the seam line and look at all this detail that you put into it," versus when they look at a master grade, it's, out of the box, it just looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's more space for you to put your own on a high grade than there is on a master grade or a real grade, especially the real grades. That's why I
100%.
don't really like modifying real grades. I'm doing now the
Yeah.
Yeah.
crossbone, but just because it's such a simple real grade. Is like
Mhm.
compared to the God Gundam or the RX-78, is like so much more basic, which makes it a good model to work on. But if I have to think to paint the RX-78 too, like no, no,
No, well,
like
it's perfect.
it's not gonna
Yeah.
work. Like you can do some detailing here and there, but doing the whole model,
Oh,
is it worth? It already looks great as it is, I
Yeah.
mean,
right.
I know.
and there's gonna be so much effort. Like there are so many pieces that are so tiny, so small.
And I wonder if
Right.
that's,
So
like,
yeah,
the real intention at the end of the day is, like, the real grade's really just there for the people that don't really care too much about painting it, but when they finish it, there's more to it mechanically. Like I said, my
Right.
first was the unicorn, and that was still one of my favorite builds, even though I've built so much since then, but it was just like it felt like it was this long project. I was assembling a robot. It really felt like that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. No, that's the point of the real grader for me too. Like, is like having a great building experience more than
You nailed it.
customizing. Is like is the building,
Yeah.
Yeah.
putting it together, put a stupid amount of water decals on it,
Yeah.
and because that's something I really do love. Is like putting a lot of water decals on.
Oh, yeah.
I know that there are people who likes the anime look, so keeping them simple. I do
Guilty.
love putting them as much as I can, overload them with
The
water
real type
decals. It's like
markings.
something I love.
Hey, that Sky Defender, it on its decal sheet, it looked like it was separated by part.
Yes, this is
Oh,
something great they did.
yeah.
Like the A part is for the backpack, the B part is for the head, the C part is for the chest. Why can we cannot have that like on every single kit? Like seriously,
I
this is
know.
like so simple and still genius because
Yeah.
I can just cut that corner and okay, this is gonna be 4. Instead of
That's
okay, I need the number 76. Where is gonna be? Or even worse, okay, there is a time in which we're using Japanese symbols. So
no,
I need
yeah.
to look. Okay, this looks like a pie with horns. Where is the
I
pie with the
know.
horns on this shit?
And then, like, near
Yeah.
the end, you have, like, this Swiss cheese piece of cardboard, with all
Yes.
these holes, and you're, like, kinda trying to look for the piece, and yeah, I
Yeah.
love seeing that. It makes me wanna build that Sky Defender, is that what that was called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Sky Defender.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
but this is a thing about Chinese people that I do love, is that they try to make it as easy as possible, and that is like living in Hong Kong is something I face on the daily. Like if there is something that's not working properly, they will try to make it better, like
mm,
with the deliveries, with online stuff, and with water decals. They literally
yeah,
see, okay, that could be a problem. Why don't we just separate? Why no Japanese thought about it? Why no Japanese thought about that?
I know,
I
that
don't know.
'cause I love water, and it's a mental thing. I would then know, "Okay, today, this period, I'm just gonna work on the waist. Here's the waist stickers.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna," and I can see what I'm gonna work on, because sometimes it's overwhelming, all the decals, you know?
Yeah, but that's what I do normally. Like I'm like, okay, now I do the head, now I
Yeah.
do the chest,
Yeah.
and I keep going. And yeah, as you said, at the end you have like this piece of paper with like 10,000 holes. You're like, why? And this is great, honestly. And also is like the same when in the instruction that they tells you not just which runners you will need, but where are the pieces on the runner, so you don't have to like
That's something that we've been talking about lately is, like, more modern kits have gotten to the point where it's like the part that you're building, it's like A 1 through 15. This little quadrant is what you need to build this part.
yeah,
Whereas it used to be like A1, B16, D31, and so you're kind of pulling from all these different places. More modern kits have been very focused about making the build experience better. So it's like, why not do that with the
with the decals.
decals?
Ah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I
I,
mean,
I
that
really hope that it's gonna become a standard eventually.
I hope,
Uh,
and I can't believe that was the first time I noticed that,
Mm,
was watching in that video. So, yeah, maybe it's little known right now, but I think we need to start bringing that up a lot. Get, Bandai to do something.
yeah,
yeah,
but I should start making proper water decals and including them in their kits too. Honestly, like,
that
especially
too.
when you get a real grade or a master grade extreme. No, the master grade extreme came with actually water decals, I think.
Yeah, the extreme
Yeah.
came with water
But
slide.
actually, I didn't use them because I got some third-party one, and they're just so much better. And I'm talking
Exactly.
about literally the details, like how much the Bandai one were basically blurry. They were blurry,
No,
while the
not only
third-party
that, but
one were like sharp.
they they almost seem painted on once you've applied them compared
Yep.
to the ones that come with it. Yeah, because I built the Master Grade EX Freedom recently, and I got Proud Defender or Mighty Strike third-party decals for it, and they were just so much better, and the Bandai ones were falling off. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
properly set them like I could have, but just based on that, yeah, those third-party
and
ones
they
so much better.
break. They literally had so many of them
They
just
tear apart.
breaking in half. Like,
Yeah,
why? Why a third-party company that has way less money to invest in research and development can make such a better job? You can.
I know.
Why
Makes you
I got
wonder.
the RX-78 shoe, real grade, like the Gundam, and it comes with stickers. It comes with stickers.
Stickers kill me, man.
Like, I don't
And
know.
honestly, so okay, what's your stance on dry transfer decals?
I never even bothered with them, I'll be honest.
I I
Mm,
I feel like I'm in the minority. I love dry transfers. They
You
just
know what, Steven, I've had it where, yeah, I've had a good experience, and I've had it where I've had a bad experience, and my bad experience was on the Master Grade 2.0 Mark II. So, that being the kit, I was like, "Oh, no, 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 I can't have it mess up." I went and ordered the third party water slides to put on it, so,
understandable.
yeah. But, I mean, I forget what kit it was. It was another one during that time that had dry transfer, and it was perfectly fine. I don't know if that's the Origin Master Grade or it was another one, and I think it depends on the material, how
It
old it was sitting on the shelf.
it really does depend. I mean, the Hyakushiki dry transfers and the Easy 8, the Gundam Easy 8 dry transfers are
Oh,
beautiful.
okay.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm on the point that when I get a kit, I automatically order the water slides, like with it.
It's just
Or I
habit.
just wait 1 month. If it's a really new kit, I just wait 1 month and I'll get the water decals later on. Because yeah, usually in couple of weeks, 3 weeks tops, you're gonna get like really good ones. You can get the ones that are actually exactly the same of the stickers, or you can get complete different ones, just original made. So
Yeah,
you have a lot of choice.
I know.
But yeah, in
For
my
sure.
opinion, water slides are just the best.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I actually enjoy. I know that a lot of people complain because, oh my god, there's so many. I spend so much time. For me, it's okay because I repeat, it's my chilling time, so I
Yeah.
don't mind putting on all these little
As long as you don't
water
have that
slides.
experience where you put one on and then you go to, like, top coat it and you find that your decals have ended up all over the place.
But you need to make them dry properly.
Yeah.
It never happened to me actually that they moved while I was top coating.
Oh,
They always
good.
stayed in place, so I never experienced that, which is surprising. But yeah, maybe
That's
just because
been
I wait enough. I don't know. I always use
yeah,
my setter to make sure that they stick.
patience.
So
Patience is key with
yeah,
everything,
yeah.
Gunpla.
One of my viewers commented on a video. Sometimes they were like, "Quality takes time," and I
Mm,
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to rush through this stuff, I think you choose the wrong hobby. Like
Yeah.
This is
Exactly.
not a hobby where you can really rush through, especially if you're like painting and doing panel lining. No, you need to give them time to sit. Everything is the right time to sit.
Exactly right. Well, hey, we're coming to the end of the hour. Paolo, is there anything that you want to share with the viewers here tonight, or this morning, rather? Any parting words of wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
But just do your own journey. Like I was we were saying before, Gunpla is freedom. So do your own journey. Like put yourself some targets. What do you want out of your kids? Uh, what would be the next thing you want to do? If you're really a beginner, for example, takes the first thing you want them to look good, I suppose. So master your knob marking removal ability. Get comfortable with those sanding sponges, sanding sticks, or even the glass file if you want to use a glass file. Like
Yes.
set yourself a target. Okay, now I did this. What I want to do next? Panel lining, and work a bit at a time. Don't get in the mindset of having your first kit and having it looks perfect. It's not going to happen. Everything takes time and steps. It's not going to take years and years and years to get the first kit, the
No.
first nice kit, but still will take time and effort. And be humble enough to realize where you're lacking skill and you're lacking experience, and learn from that. And it's something like getting a good result is something you can totally get.
Well
That is my
said.
personal advice.
No, that's good.
No, well said. That's perfect. That's honestly, yeah, that's really what everyone should take away is kind of run your own race and understand that that perfection takes time, and
Yeah.
it might not be forever. It might be a week, it might be a month. You never know how long it's going to take to get good at something.
And do it
But
for
yeah,
yourself. Nobody else is gonna come in your room and say, "Ha, you did this." Like, do
yeah,
it for
give yourself
yourself, for
some
your own
grace.
joy.
Yeah. But no, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and thank you
Yeah.
for sharing your wisdom. Like I said, everyone go take a look in the description. Go check out the first impressions of the Sky Defender. Definitely go watch Adam's summary of Gundam Wing. I'm going to continue to preach Gundam Wing to him, even if he's going to
Yeah.
bash me about it.
I think we're good now. The
We're
seed thing.
okay now.
Yeah, it's
We're
still the seed
copacetic
thing. I'm
again.
I'm still embarrassed about seed though, so
Oof, yeah, as you should be.
I'm a double O fan, so
oh, hey, Double O's good.
double O is
Double.
good. Except the movie. The movie's terrible. But
Oh,
the two series before, well, that's were like
Mm.
really touched the right points in my opinion.
One of these days I'll finish it.
yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. You can skip the movie. My personal opinion. You can skip the movie. Keep the ending of the second season.
Mm, fair. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for contributing this evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will catch you, of course, tomorrow on the Gundam Explained show. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
See
Bye.
ya.
Thank you very much.